Taoiseach, I'm seeking some clarity, transparency in relation to the future of publicly run nursing homes. There was a very strong article in last Sunday's Sunday Business Post in relation to what is an impending crisis in terms of publicly run nursing homes in particular, not meeting the standards set down by the Health Information and Quality Authority. And 21 of the biggest publicly run nursing homes are now at risk of closure due to the lack of investment by the state in enabling those institutions to become compliant with HIQA standards. And the alarming aspect of this is that no funding has been provided in the 2015 estimates to bring those 21 homes up to standard. And the 21 homes span 14 counties, 6 in the county of Cork alone. We're talking about institutions such as Peamount, Leopardstown Park, Gorey District Hospital, Tralee, Monaghan, Nina, and many others. And of course St Finbarr's in Cork City, Castletownbere, Bandon, Bantry, St Joseph's and Bantry, St Joseph's and Mill Street. Now the bottom line is this, Taoiseach, unless the standards are met by July, or unless there's even some indication that there's a real commitment to meet those standards, the options are closure of the institutions, or a significant reduction in beds, or closure of high acute units or high dependency units. Now, the Director of the HSE has warned that there's not enough funding there to sort this out. And what I want to know from you, Taoiseach, is this. Is there a creeping policy of privatisation by stealth? In other words, is it your view that these institutions will wither on the vine and they'll close naturally through lack of investment on your part? And that HIQA will have to intervene, because HIQA have been very clear.
Thank you.
They're saying that by July, if a centre is not in compliance by July 2015, and if no realistic, time-bound, costed-funded plan has been agreed with the authority, then appropriate conditions will be attached to any renewal of registration. So, Taoiseach, we need a bit of honesty from the government now. What is going to happen here?
Thank you. Taoiseach.
I don't know what you're implying by that last remark. It's only right and proper that there should be quality nursing home services available for people who have to avail of them, and that underpinned by a proper system of registration and inspection. Deputy Martin is well aware of the age and the structure of many of the older public homes that are around the country, evolving from county homes into other structures such as we have today. Let me say that there is no privatisation by stealth going on here, Deputy Martin. The nurses and the personnel who worked in the public homes for so many years gave a wonderful service in systems that are inadequate today, but that served a purpose over very many years. Now, HIQA have clearly said that the discussions that are going on between the HSE and themselves, that these arise from public units around the country which are currently registered, but which are due for deregistration in 2015 or 2016. And HIQA have clearly indicated that there are a number of these facilities that do not fully meet the standards that one would expect in a modern nursing home. And as I said, that's not surprising given that the age of some of them is in excess of 100 years. And there are 119 public nursing homes, as you're well aware. Now, over the last number of years, the capital programme of the HSE has, within the available resources to it, brought a number of the public long-stay units to full infrastructural standards as is required by HIQA, and will continue to invest in long-stay units over the time ahead. Last year, Deputy, there was 36 million allocated in the capital plan for the continued upgrade of public residential facilities, and 122.34 million allocated for the period up ahead. Now, I also understand, Deputy, that from the Department of Health and the HSE that there is adequate flexibility within the terms of the existing legislative proposals and through discussions that are currently going on between the HSE and HIQA, and between HIQA and Minister Lynch for solutions to be found here. The HSE has been working with HIQA over the past number of months to meet the deregistration requirements of the units that are involved here, and the Department of Health is in very regular contact with the HSE on this particular issue. So it is true to say that the fabric and the structure of many of the public nursing homes is very old, in the sense of some of them are 100 years. Efforts have been made over the past few years to bring numbers of these up to the standards that HIQA require. It is true to say that they're not all up to standard now. They've been identified by HIQA. Discussions are going on between HIQA, HSE and the Minister. 122 million allocated from this year to bring others up to full infrastructural standard, and the flexibility within the existing system will hopefully allow for a service to be provided and continue to be provided until they can be brought up to full HIQA standards in the time ahead, and that the law can allow for that to happen.
Thank you.
That's not a straightforward, honest answer, to be honest. But what I mean by that is we just want facts. People would like to know. I said to you, it's not telling the truth to the public concerned. These are very important centres in the communities. I know that questions were asked last week by the Sunday Business Post and others. Can you tell us, I've named 21 hospitals there, right? 21 long stay. A simple question. Have plans been submitted in respect of each one of those 21 hospitals? The Castletown Bears, the Bandon, the Bantry, the Peamount, the Leopardstown. And has funding been matched to those plans that have been submitted? Simple, that's simple. And no one could get that answer at the weekend. It's all fudged in discussions going on and this, that and the other. HIQA had to dismiss any suggestion that there was an amnesty, which the Minister of State had said at the time. And the Minister herself, to be fair, 12 months ago dealt with this issue and said the money wasn't going to be provided in a reply in the House. Bearing in mind their age and structure, public nursing homes face real challenges and require investment in excess of the funding that will be available in the short to medium term. That was January 2014. Move to November 2014 and you get the Minister saying we're working to try and establish the options that may be available in this regard and how we can ensure that older people continue to be looked after. I mean, that's meaningless kind of stuff that you get when no one has an answer to the problem. And we're getting more of it today with respect to issue. And I think the people in those communities, the staff, the communities that depend on the long stay beds and the short stay beds would like to know a very basic answer. Is it policy to upgrade these units? Is the money going to be provided? Because it hasn't actually been provided in this year's estimates. 7.3 million has been provided for the upgrade of the nursing homes. 300 million was asked for by the Director General of the HSE, Tony O'Brien. He is saying that's what it will take.
Thank you.
And there's been no publication of a 3-year plan, of a 4-year plan, and this has been known for 5 years that July 2015 is going to be the date. And there is no plan, there's no public plan that we're going to do X, Y and Z over the next 3 years in terms of the long stay beds.
Thank you,
in these particular institutions. I think it's a legitimate question. What is really going on behind the scenes?
Thank you.
And
your sense of righteousness is extraordinary. Now, you wanted to know answers to some questions. I cannot answer the question for you as to whether every one of the 21 you've mentioned have submitted plans for planning permission, whether planning permission has been approved for them, whether funding has been provided in the budget for each of these 21. I cannot answer that question for you here on the floor of the House now, but I will find the answer for you. And the Minister for Health and the Minister of State at the Department have all of the details about these. Now, secondly, I said to you that last year there was 36 million allocated in the 2014 programme. I'll give you the extent of the works that were carried out and completed and brought up to standard for that 36 million, so that you will have it not, as you say, in a dishonest fashion, but straight up front. And I'll also give you the extent of applications that have been lodged from the 21 that you mentioned, whether planning permission has been granted for them or not, whether they have been considered to be up to the standard required by HIQA, and what extent of monies will be spent on them in 2015. And I'll give you that in detail, Deputy Martin, so that you won't be able to come in here and say that anything is being fudged. Everybody understands that the 119 public nursing homes that we have, some of these are 100 years old. Yes, well, you don't seem to remember it then. The fact of the matter is that a number of these are not up to modern-day standard. The government publicly support and will continue to support a public nursing home service being provided in public homes for people who avail of this service.
Thank you.
There's never been enough money here, nor is there enough now. But what we've got to do is to decide on the flexibility within the law, what ones can continue to give service for the time ahead, and how best we can bring those other facilities up to the standard of modern nursing homes that the people who use them can be comfortable in and can be secure in.
Thank you.
The standards that applied years ago when you were minister yourself don't apply any longer.